onload client script again, but we discussed a scenario that is like, let me just show it. So when the status is selected as training on hold, then only on hold reason should be visible. If it is selected as anything else, let's say training started or training in progress or training completed or none, anything else, it should not be visible actually. This is the scenario we have done yesterday. You see now the training on hold is not visible. If I selected training on hold, then only it will be visible now. So this is what we did yesterday. But we also written some logic like this to achieve that. So if status equal to training on hold, never keep a single equal to in the if condition, guys. Either you need to give double equal to or triple equal to. You are comparing, you are not assigning the value. Understand that. So wherever you see the field name in the if condition, also you need to remember you should not write u underscore status or status directly. Never try to give the field name. You need to. There will be a method actually. So in this case, status means the value of that status. In this case, in this logic, in this logic, the status means the value of that status, value inside that field. We are checking if the value, whatever value the status field is holding, if it is training on hold, whatever value the status is holding, if it is training on hold, if it is selected as training on hold, which means that actually this whole line means that actually. So whatever status field is there, okay, if that value is selected as training on hold, then on hold reason should be visible, else on hold reason should be hidden. This is what we discussed yesterday. So let's go to client scripts again quickly. Under system definition, let's move to client scripts. Let's open this. Yeah, this is the client script we written yesterday. This is an onload client script. No matter how many lines you write here, it really doesn't matter. It will execute. These lines will execute depending on this type actually. So this is onload client script. Whenever the form gets loaded, whenever you reload the form, then only the script will execute. So in this case, we written this logic. We taken a variable var status equal to, and in that variable you are storing the value of the status field. Whatever data is there inside the status field, that data you are storing inside this variable status. Like how you are storing var a equal to 2. In this case, I'm storing 2 in the variable a. In the same way, variable name can be anything. I'm storing 2 in the variable a. Okay, variable name can be anything. It no need to be a. It can be b, c, n, anything else. Okay, how you are storing two data in variable a? In the same way, here also we taken a variable known as status, and I'm storing the data of that status field. Whatever status field is having, whatever status field it is holding, I'm storing the data inside that variable. So here I'm checking status means the data of this field. If it is running on hold, then the system will give the choice value, not the choice label. On hold equal to on hold, then it will show the field, else it will hide the field. But here the issue is these things will execute only on load of the form, not on change of the field. I want it whenever I change the field, whenever I'm changing the choice itself, I want it to be shown. Whenever I change the choice to training started, it should hide. Whenever I change the status to training on hold, it should be shown. So this should not be written in on load actually. This should be written in somewhere else. Okay, this should not be written in on load because the script is correct. The script what we written is correct, but where we written is wrong actually. Because you see, when I'm selecting the status as running on hold, it is not showing the on hold reason. I need to save the form, so the browser will load. Then only it is showing on hold reason. Or let's say when I selected it as training completed or training started or training in progress, it should hide. It's not hiding. Why it's not hiding? Because the script what we written is correct, but it will run only on load of the form. So you need to save the form here. Then only it will run. So let's do one thing. Let's go for another type of client script to achieve this. So I don't want to load the form to see the changes. As soon as I change the value itself, as soon as I change the value to training on hold, status value to training on hold, I want to see that on hold region. Again, as soon as I change the value to training in progress, I want to hide that field. So on change only I need. I should not wait until I save the form. So let's go to client scripts again. Let's create a new type of client script, that is on change. So the table will be child batches. Type should be on change. So when you give the type as on change, you can see some script is getting pre-populated like this. And service now is telling you need to write the code here between these braces. Inside this brace only you should write. See, they'll tell you where to write. Hash type appropriate comment here, begin the script below. Here we need to write the code. But when on change will execute actually, we need to see that. If you pay attention here, let's say I'll keep it as on load. When I keep on load, there is no field between type and description. There is no field. You can't see any field between type and description. Let's say I'm selecting it as on change. You can see a field known as field name. Field name. What is this field name actually? Field name is nothing but uh, field name is nothing but you can see all the fields within this table. Whatever table you have selected, within that table you can see all the fields actually. Active, amount paid. So I selected child batches table, and this field name will come only in the on change client script, not in onload or on submit. Okay, you see onload, I don't see the field name actually now, because onload execution is different. It will execute onload of the form. But when I select on change, you can see a field name. This field name will come only when you select on change. Whatever table you have given here, that table fields you can see. Let's say I'm selecting active field. I'll keep an alert actually here. Alert. Let's say yes. I'm keeping pop-up known as yes. Alert is nothing but a pop-up. We discussed yesterday. It will show the pop-up, and I'm printing the pop-up as yes. Why yes, yes. Now let's go here, refresh the page. Always you need to reload the page, no matter whether it is on load or on change or on submit. So when this code will execute actually here, in this case, one alert will execute. So on change client script will execute on change of a field actually. Whenever you change the field value, it will execute. On change client script will execute. See, on load when it will execute, whenever you reload the form, whenever the form gets loaded, on load will execute. In the same way, when on change will execute, whenever you change the field value, it will execute. So we'll see when this will come. Let's say I'm changing this field value. You see, it's not. I don't see an alert now. I don't see an alert now. Or I'll change this value. I don't see the alert here also. So when on change of which field it will execute actually. Whatever field name you have given here, when you change that field, let's say in this case you given active. Whenever you change this active field in the form, then only it will execute. See, I can see yes. Again, when I say change this value, again I can see the pop-up. So you need to understand on change means whatever field you have given here that is active in this case. In this case, it is active. Whenever this field value is changing, then it will enter into this code and it will execute. Here from the fifth line, it will execute. So in this case, we given the field as active. Only on change of this field, it will execute the code, or else no, it won't execute the code. So the trigger point for on change is whatever field name you are giving here, on change of that field data, it will execute. So let's say I'm giving now batch. Imagine I'm giving batch or short description, whatever it is. Let's keep short description. So now this code will execute only on change of the short description. If you change the short description, then only it will execute, or else it won't execute. See, I'm changing the status, it won't execute. On change of the field, actually, on change of the field in the sense you need to change the data of the field. See, I'm changing the field data. It won't execute. If you change all the fields also, it won't execute. When it will execute, whatever field you have given here, that is short description in the child batches table, was changing, then it will come here and it will execute this alert. Now let's change it to, let's say, I change the value. You see, now it is executing. Again, it will execute. So on change means whenever whatever field you have given here, if that field value changes, then it will execute, or else it won't execute. You no need to reload the form. So in this scenario, if you pay attention in this scenario, let's copy this code. It's the same code. The code will not have any impact actually. Let me comment this code here in the onload. In the onload client script, I'm commenting this code. The code is, again, I'm telling you what we are doing here. Whenever the status is selected as training on hold, then only on hold reason should be visible, or else it should not be visible. That is the code that we have written here. I commented this code, which means it won't execute now. It won't execute now. See, if I reload the page also, let's say I'm selecting training on hold, and if I'm saving the form also, let's say I'm changing it to training started also, it will be like that only, because I have commented the code. It won't change. I have commented the code in the onload. So let's place this code in the on change client script. On change client script. But when you place this code in the on change client script, the code is not completed. Actually, the code is completed, the trigger is not completed. Trigger is in the sense on change. On change of which field do we need to run this code actually? On
Status.
change of the status field, you need to run this code. Whenever the status field is getting changed, then you need to run this code. Then only it will make some sense. Because what is our scenario? Whenever the status field value is, let's say, what we are doing here, the status field value, again, I'm repeating. You will be forgetting it for sure, but I'm telling you again, here status means the status field data. This field data, we are focusing on this field data, what this field is holding that data. If that field data is equal to training on hold, then you show the on hold reason, else you hide the on hold reason. This is what we are discussing. So in this case, here you need to keep status only. On change of which field you want to run this code, on change of status field I want to run this code. Reload the page. Now you see it is working on change only. It is working on change only. I don't need to reload the page or nothing like that. I don't need to do anything like that. See, when I select training on hold, then only I see on hold reason. If I select, let's say, training completed, you can't see. If I select training on hold, I can see. If I select training in progress, you can't see. If I select training on hold, you can see. If I select training started, you can see. If I select training on hold, you can see. So the catch is where you need to write it. That is important. Actually, the code will not change. If you see, I just copied the same code which was there in onload client script. I didn't use anything there. The code will not change. The code is not going to change. So what is changing here actually? What is changing? The only thing it is changing is the type. So when to use which type of client script is important actually. It's not like every time you'll go for an onload or every time you'll go for an on change. So in this case, we have a condition. So we should go for an on change. So on change of the status itself, we want to execute that code. On change of status field, not on change of active field. If you change the active one, it doesn't make sense to show the on hold reason. So whenever I change the status field value to on hold, then only on hold reason should be visible. Whenever I change the status field to anything else apart from training on hold, it should be hidden. So the trigger is this. So the field name should be status only, not anything else. And it will work only on change of status, not in the on change. But there is an issue here. What is that issue? Let's see. The issue is pay attention, you won't understand for sure, but please pay attention. So when the status is selected as running in progress, let's say I selected the status as running on hold, it is working as fine. You can see on hold reason is shown. When I selected it as training completed, it is not showing, which is expected. Again, on hold, it is showing. So what end user will see, okay, I don't want to fill this field value. Let's keep it as a training in progress. End user is keeping it as a status as training in progress, and they'll save the form. When they save the form, pay attention. When they save the form, when the status is training in progress, why on hold is shown? It should not show. After saving the form, you can see it is working as expected actually. See, I can't see on hold design. When I selected training on hold only, I can see on hold design. I can't see on hold design actually. But end user, what they'll think, okay, I'll keep it as training started. I can't see on hold design, and they'll save the form. The moment they save the form, what is happening again? It is showing the on hold design. Why is it happening? Why was it happening, guys? Any idea, anyone? Do you understood the issue here or not? Or you'll simply sit like
Yes,
that
we
only
have
for the 1
understood.
hour?
Yes, Vijay.
Vijay, we have written the code in the on change type on change trigger point.
Hmm.
So the code is running only on the on change, and the other cases it was not running. It's
So what was the other case actually?
like on load,
Download.
on submit.
Everyone understood, not on submit. Don't say on submit.
Yeah, on load it was not running.
Everyone understood what he told?
Yes, whatever the
Yes,
code we have given, it runs on load.
what? It runs in on change. Whatever code we have written is running only on change.
Yes, yes, on change.
One second. Just give me 1 minute. I don't know how many of you understood that. Let me explain. 1 second. Let me connect my charge. Okay. Okay. The issue here is, pay attention. So here we have a on change client script. When this on change client script will run, whenever we change the status field value, then only it will run. So this status field value should change, then only it will run strictly. See, I'm changing the status field value. It is running. When I change the status field value, I'm changing it, it is running. See, I change it to training on hold, it is showing on hold result. I change it to training started, it is not showing. I change it to training on hold, it is showing. I change it to training in progress, it is not showing. I change it to training on hold, it is showing. I change it to training completed, it is not showing. So the catch here is on change of this field, this client script is going to run only on change of the status field. But let's say when the end user keep it as status as not training on hold. In this case, it is not training on hold. The status is training started, and they save the form. The form is loading. When the form is loading, on change will not execute. On load will execute. In the on load client script, we have commented this code. So when the form is getting loaded, we are not telling the system, okay, if the status is running started, you hide this field. You're not telling the system because you have commented this code. Let's say if I uncomment it, it's an on-load client script. If I uncomment it, then it will work. So are you getting what is happening here, everyone? So it is working as expected in on change. But when you save the form, on change client script is not executing. On load is executing. Are you getting it? No.
Yes, Vijay,
Yes,
understood.
Vijay.
You see now, I select the status as training on hold. On change it is. It's not on load. I'm changing it to training in progress. Now I'm saving the form. When I save the form, browser is loading. Now you won't see on hold reason. Reason why you won't see on hold reason? Because in the onload client script, I have told the system to hide that field value. If it is not, trying on hold, you hide it. Clear? Are you getting? No.
Yes, Vijay.
So that's the reason I told you in UI policy there is a checkbox known as onload. I don't know how many of you remember that. I told you I'll explain it in the client script. When we discuss the client script, then we can explain. I'll explain. I told you.
Yes.
So what that even the checkbox name is onload. The checkbox name is onload. That's it. Nothing else. But what the checkbox will do, it will run as both onload and onchange also. I'll show. Let's read it now. So this is the same scenario using UI policy. When the status is running on hold, then only on hold reason should be mandatory and visible. So here if you read this onload checkbox, applies the UI policy action when the form is loaded and when the user changes the value on the form. What this onload, even the name is onload, they are telling it will apply the UI policy action when the form is loaded. When the form is getting loaded also it will run, it is saying, and when the user changes the value on the form, which means on change also it will run, they are telling. Are you getting it?
Yes, Vijay.
This onload checkbox itself is running as both onload and on change action. That's the reason it's working there. But do you guys, everyone understood what is the issue here? Why we need to write two scripts here? Everyone.
Yes, Vijay.
Because on
Yes, yes.
change it is working fine. Anyone who didn't understood, let me know. Please don't be shy. Because later point you won't understand. Trust me. Now only you should able to understand. On change it is working fine. When I change the field, it's working fine. But the moment you save the form is loading. When the form is loading, it won't, on change will not work. On change is not going to work when the form is loading. On load will work. When on load, we have commented these lines of code. Now we have enabled these lines of code in the onload client script, so it is working now. But the question here is, do we really need to write two scripts to do this requirement? No, I should not able to write two scripts. So again, I commented this onload thing what we have written. I have commented this onload thing what we have written. We should not write two scripts to do this. So in the onload client script, again I'm telling you, I have commented these lines. Let me strike it off. Let me refresh the page. Now you see, it is working on change. Okay, I'll save the form. It won't work because I have commented the code in onload. Okay, clear? No,
Yes, Vijay.
I commented the code in onload, so it won't work. See, again I'll save the form. When I save the form in the onload, this logic is not there, so it's showing. So we should not write two scripts. We should not write onload and on change separately. We should be able to write it in one script only because it's a logic. So what we need to do in order to achieve these two things in a same script. So on change client script is having a special feature that what it will do. It can run as both on change and onload. On change client script can only run as both on change as well as onload also. Not, I'm not saying on change or on load. I'm telling both on change and on load. Sorry, the vice versa. Sorry, I'm not telling it will run either in on change or on load. It will run as both. On change is for sure. It will run as on change. With that, if you want to run the same code as on load also, you can achieve that. How? For that, we need to understand these things. What these things are doing, we need to understand those things. So the logic is in this part. First, we need to understand what these parameters are that are given by service now. We need to understand these. Then you'll understand why it can run as both on change and on load. Clear? So what I'm trying to say here, normally what we are doing, we written on change client script as well as on load client script, right? To achieve this scenario. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Vijay. Yes, Vijay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, instead of writing two scripts, we should able to do it in one script only. What is that script? On change client script. Okay, we can ignore onload. Why? Because on change client script is having a capability. It will run as both on change as well as onload. Okay. But for that, we need to do some adjustments in this code, which was given by ServiceNow. What we written is from here to here only. This was pre-populated by ServiceNow the moment we select it as on change. Okay, so we need to understand these things. Are you getting what I'm saying or no?
Yes, Vijay.
Yes, Vijay.
So we can convert this on change only to both on change, to execute as both on change and on load. We no need to write a separate script for on change and on load. Okay, because it will be easy for our maintenance. Let's say in future there is some other validation on the same thing. Let's say now they are also asking to make it mandatory. You need to go to two scripts and do the changes. So instead of that, you need to able to do in one script only. So let's try to understand what these parameters are. Okay.
Select ease loading, right?
Hey man, I know you had the training. Just wait for other people. It's not select. Wait. So let's see here. This is control. What this control will do actually? Control is a parameter. What this parameter will do? Control will highlight the field actually. Whatever field you have selected here, that is status. In that status field, let's say you want to change the colors, some styling. Okay, we'll use control, but we won't discuss it in our training because normally people won't use it. So you can ignore it, but I'm just telling you why we use control. You can control this field, whatever field you have selected here, that is status field. That field you can control, like the styling, all those things you can do. Styling in the sense, let's say when I select a status as training on hold, I want to highlight it in the red color. When I select it as training started, I want to highlight it in different color. That you can do it using control. Okay, but don't focus on this control much. It is used for styling purposes. But these parameters are important. This I'll tell you, but it's not that important. Let's see what is old value, what is new value. Okay. Old value and new value. What is this old value and what is this new value? Old value is nothing but the previous value of that field. New value is nothing but the current value of the field. Which means, what is the value of status now?
Training started.
I'm changing it to training in progress now. What is the value of the status?
Training in progress.
Training
What
improvement.
is the previous value of the status?
Training started. Training
Training.
started.
That old value is nothing but the previous value of the field. New value is nothing but the current value of the field. Okay. But this old value and new value will not work for every field. It will work for only one field. Which field it is? Whatever you have selected here. That field only it will work. So what we selected here, status. So it will work only for the status field, not for other fields. Which means it won't work for batch. It won't work for trainee name. It won't work for number. It won't work for short description. It won't work for description. It won't work for start date. It will work only for the status. Why? Because you have, whatever field you have selected here, on that field only, this old value and new value will work. Clear? Or also control. Just to explain you, I can do one thing. I can keep alert. Let's say previous value. Whatever you give it in the single quotes will print as it is. Okay, remember that. I'll give it as old value. I'll give alert. One more alert. Current value. I'll give it as new value. Always remember camel case letters. You see. Okay. Now you see. What is the value of the status now? Service now will understand it as 1. Okay. I'll change it to training in progress. So when I change it to training in progress, what will be my old value, guys?
1,
What will be my
Training
new value?
started.
One
2,
only. According to service now, one only. Because training started backend value is 1. Okay. Choice value. When I change it to training in progress, what will be my new value?
2.
2. Because according to service now, it's 2.
Two.
You see, previous value is 1. I click on OK, current value is 2. So in the previous value, I given old value. The current value, I given new value. That's all. So this is the old value and new value. In fact, actually, I can tell you one thing. Instead of writing g underscore form dot get value of u underscore status, you can directly write new value also. Because new value, what it is giving, current value of the status, right? New value is nothing but the current value of the status. Whatever field you have selected here, that field's current value it is giving. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Old value is nothing but the previous value of the status. So what we are getting here, g underscore form dot get value of u underscore status means it is giving the value of the status field. Instead of writing g underscore form dot get value of status, you can also write new value. It will work, but don't make it as a habit of writing new value, because you won't have this new value old value concept in on load and on submit. You have it only in on change. Once you become familiar, once you become comfortable, then you can go and use it. But now, no, please. Okay. Use g underscore form dot get value. So is it clear, old value and new value? Now you tell me, I'm changing the batch from 11 to 15. Okay. From 11 to 15, I'm changing it to 16 to 20. According to this code, what will be my current value?
2.
Box.
Training in progress.
Mhm. What will be my previous value?
1.
1.
Training started only. Because even though I changed it from batch 11 to 15, did anyone share you the recordings or what? My previous batch recordings. I'm sure someone shared it to you.
No very.
Sure?
No.
Okay. Because it will work only on the status field. Even though I'm confusing you to change it from the batch. Because I remember my previous batch people are very intelligent and they used to tell batch only. You guys are the first people who told status. So I'm thinking someone has seen the videos in prayer only. Okay. So even though I change the value of the batch, it will give you the value of the status only. Because whatever field you have selected here, that field's old value and new value will be coming, not the other field values. Clear? Is this clear, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes.
Yes, Vijay.
Now this parameter, what is this ease loading? Ease loading is nothing but I told you, I don't know whether I told you or not, but I remember I told you, wherever you see ease in the syntaxes, like ease mandatory or ease loading or ease template, wherever you see ease in the syntax that was given by service now, it is a boolean value. Either it can be true or it can be false. Okay. Wherever you see is, guys, it is a boolean value. Either you can see it as true or you can see it as false. Okay. So in this case, is loading. Is loading means what? Is it loading or not? What is loading? So if the form is loading, then this is loading parameter will give me true. True. If the form is not loading, now the form is not loading, then this is loading parameter will give me false. Is it clear? No.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes, Vijay. Clear.
Is loading. Again, I'm telling you, is loading. Okay. Is. Wherever you see this is in front of the syntax, actually. Wherever you see the words which were given by service now, wherever you see the keywords or the syntaxes that were given by service now, not declared by you, wherever you see that is keyword that was starting, that word is starting from is, it is having only two possibilities, either true or false. So in this case, when this is loading will give true, when the form is loading, it will give true. When this is loading will give false, when the form is not loading, it will give false. Okay? Old value again. Old value will give the previous value of this field what you have selected. New value will give the current value of this field what you have selected. Is loading will give you the boolean value. That is, when the form is loading, it will give true. When the form is not loading, it will give false. Clear?
Yes, Vijay.
Now let's see what is each template. Okay, people won't use it also for sure, but I need to tell you this. Okay, what is this each template? Again, each template means you have only two possibilities: is true or false. When it will give true, when it will give false. Let's see. So in the child batches, let's say you can create a template actually. Not only in child batches table, in any table you can create a template. In any table you can create a template. So how to create a template? Let me show you. Let's go to child batches again. If you go to any form, any table form, not only this table form, any table form, you have these three dots next to submit button. Or here also you have the three dots next to update button. When you click on those three dots, you'll have a toggle template bar. You have an option toggle template bar. The moment you click on toggle template bar in the footer that is here, you can see a pop-up. It will ask you to create a template actually. It will ask you to create a template. The moment you click on the template, automatically the values will be filled. You no need to fill them. Okay, actually, what is the concept of template? You'll see a template. When you click on the template, when you apply the template, whatever values you have given in the template will be automatically filled. You no need to apply it manually. So this concept will be mostly used for the service desk people. If you remember in the incidents, that is ticketing tool, you'll say, right? The tickets. Uh, okay, if it is raised by you, it's fine. But few times what happens, people will call them. People will call to the service desk agent and they'll say, hey, I'm facing this issue. Then what they need to do, what you don't know is, they'll raise a ticket on behalf of you. They'll go to the system, they'll fill your details, they'll give your employee ID, so the other details will be automatically populated. So there will be some template which are common for every users. You are in the same company only, so something like that. You are in the same ODC only. The moment they click on the template, all the details will be automatically filled. They'll apply only the short description. That's it. It will make their lives little simpler. So how to create a template? Click on these three dots. It will be available in any form. It doesn't matter. Click on toggle template bar. Then you'll see a pop-up in the footer. Let's click on toggle template bar. You see a pop-up now. Click on create a new one, or you can click on this plus button. Anything. The moment you click on it, let it load. It will give you these values. I mean, it will. You can select the fields. Let's say there is a batch field. I want to select the batch as 16 to 21 to 25. There is an active field. I can select the active as true. There is a status field. I can select the status as you can give any field you want. Running started. There is a, let's say, description created by a template. There is a company. So you can give all the field values like this, what you want. Okay, and you can submit it. That's it. Okay, very simple. You can submit this template. Nothing else. So if you say again, click on this, click on toggle template bar. Okay, I have created a template. If you want to create one more template, you can click on plus. You can give all the values you want here, and you can submit it. Okay, whenever you try to create a new form, okay, instead of adding these values, you click on template 2, this template. What it is doing, it is automatically adding those values. You see, batch was filled, active was filled, description was filled, company was filled, status was filled. Wherever this template got applied, you can see a tick mark, that is a checkbox here, right? Yes or no? Are you getting it?
Yes, Vijay.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes,
So
Vijay.
what is this each template will do? It will give a boolean value. What it will give? Each template will work only on this field again. So control old value, new value, and each template will work only on this field what you have selected. Only ease loading will not work on this field. So all these parameters which were given by ServiceNow will work only on the field what you have selected. So what this each template will do? If this field, so on change of which field we are running? Status field. If this status field is changed by the template, it is changed by the template. It is not changed by us. If the field value is changed by the template, it will give true. If the field value is not changed by the template, let's say in this case it is not changed by the template, it will give false. So again, I'm telling you, each template will is having two options, that is true or false. When it will give true, each template, if the field value, whatever field value, which field value, this whatever field name you have given here, if that field value is changed by the template, then each template will give true. If the field value is not changed by the template, then each template will give false. Is it clear? No.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes, Vijay.
Everyone. Okay. So normally we won't use each template also. But just to tell you, I'm telling it. So again, I'm repeating. Old value will give you the previous value of the field what you have selected. New value will give you the current value of the field what you have selected. Is loading will give me a boolean value. When the form is loading, it will give true. When the form is not loading, it will give false. Each template will give me the boolean value, the field value. If in this case, whatever field you have selected here, that field value is changed by the template, it will give true. I told you what is a template. You click on these three dots, click on toggle template bar, click on this template. It will apply the template. So whatever field, if the field value is changed by the template, it will give true, else it will give false. So Now let's try to understand this part. This part is responsible to restricting the restricting that form is loading. When the form is loading, it is not allowing you to go inside this code. Actually, we'll see that. Okay, why I'm discussing all these things, we should run this on change as both on change and on load. I'll tell you one thing. Okay, let's say var a equal to true. Okay, true. If a equal to true, then I'm telling the system to print yes. Okay, what do you understand from this?
If a value is
It will
true,
print as.
print
It will
yes.
print yes. The other way of writing it is, what is the value of a?
True.
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 Right, value of a is true. So what I told, this if will give you only two possibilities, that is true or false. So the other way of writing it is, if you write a equal to true, or if a, both are same only. Okay, either you write if a equal to true, or you write if a, only for the boolean values I'm saying. Okay, because if a means, what is the value of a? True.
True.
So it is returning true. It will go into this loop. You no need to write a equal to true. You see, it's up to you. Either you write a equal to true, or you write if a, both are same only. It won't change. Okay, in the true or false case. Clear? No.
Yes, Vijay.
Yes, yes.
Either you write if a, or if a equal to true, both are same. There is no difference. Why I'm telling this? Because of this. See, if is loading, is loading means what? Is loading equal to true. Okay, which means if is loading means, is loading is a boolean value. If is loading equal to true, when is loading will become true?
When the form is loading.
The form is loaded.
When the form is loading, it will become true. If form is loading, anyone know what is the symbol? I told you on that day.
Or
It's an or symbol. Or means either this satisfy or this, either what, wherever this symbol is there. Okay, there is this symbol. Okay, whether left side of this symbol got satisfied or right side of the symbol got satisfied, it will enter into this. Either this condition satisfy or this condition satisfy, it will enter into this. So what is the first syntax? If the form is getting loaded, or new value means what? Which field value we are referring according to this code?
status.
Status field value we are telling. Okay, status field value equal to empty. Yeah, they given triple equal to, that's fine. Okay, equal to empty, or status field value is empty. Just to explain you in English. Okay, you're getting this or no? What this is doing? So what this is doing, either this condition satisfy or this condition satisfy, you enter into this loop, it will give you true. Okay, it is nothing but if a equal to 2 or a equal to 3, then you print yes, which means, let's say I'm giving the value of a as 3. Will it enter into this loop or not?
Yes.
Yes, because one of the condition is satisfying. See, it's not an and condition, it's an or condition. Either it can be true or it can be 3, it will enter. If I give 4, it won't enter. Okay, so here also the same thing. You see, if the form is loading or status value is empty, status value is empty in the sense it should be none, then it is empty. See, okay, if the form is loading or status value is empty, then what we are telling the system? Return. Return means what, guys? Get away from the code, don't execute the below part. Return means it will get away from the code, which means, you see, if I keep return here, or whatever code we have written, see, it is grayed out. Return means you're telling the system, get away from this code. From this point, you get away from this code, don't execute the below lines. Are you getting or not?
Yes, Vijay.
Yes.
So if you understood this syntax, what it is telling, if the form is loading means is loading equal to true. Is loading equal to true means if the form is loading, or new value, which means status value is empty. If the form is loading or the status value is empty, if any one of this condition is satisfied, get away from this code, don't execute the below code. So what is interrupting us not to run this code as both on change and on load?
If condition.
Sorry?
If condition. I have to change the conditions in there. Yeah.
Yeah, what do I need to change here? In this if condition, which part is not allowing me when the form is loading?
New value.
Right. Why new value? What is our, see, the scenario is we need to convert this code into both on change and on load. Both on change and on load. When the form is loading, you see, when the form is loading, okay, see, normally when I change the value, whenever I change the field value, it will execute from here actually. It won't execute from here. Whenever I change the field value, let's say I change the field value now, it will execute from here, not from here. So when I change the field value, you see, I change the value now. So it will execute from here, it will come here. Is the form loading? No. In this case, I didn't loaded the form. See, I changed the field value again. I change the field value, it will come from here. Is the form loading? No. Is the new value, which means the status value, empty? No.
No.
So that's why it didn't enter into this if condition, it is coming here directly. It is executing these lines. But when I load the form, when I save the form, okay, again it will come from here only. So then which part, when I save the form, what is happening here? Here the form is loading. Is loading is true.
Yes.
It is entering here. It is returning. It is not evaluating this code. Why new value is coming into the picture here? Is loading is the thing that you need to think.
Yes.
Right? If
Yes.
is loading is true, when is loading will become true? When the form is loading. When I save the form is loading. So it will become true. If you remove the is loading from the if condition, it will run as both on load and on change. This might be an interview question. In the whole client script, they'll ask you two questions. Apart from what are the types of client scripts, they'll tell you how do you convert an on change into both on change and on load. You need to tell if you remove the is loading from the if condition, it will run as both on load and on change. You see now, you don't see now. See, it is working as both on change as well as on load. See, if I save the form, you don't see on hold reason now. Because what used to happen previously, we used to have this is loading parameter here. It is returning true. The moment I save the form, this is loading parameter is becoming true. It is entering into this braces. It is returning. It is getting away from this code, which is not evaluating this code. But now the moment I remove this is loading, see, I remove this is loading from the if condition. It is running as both on load and on change. You no need to write a on change code separately and on load code separately. See, the thing is, many people don't know. They'll just say simply, okay, if you remove the is loading from the if condition, it will run as both on change and on load. But you should also know why it will run as both on change and on load. Because when you give this is loading, again I'm telling you, if you give this is loading, whenever I save the form is loading. When the form is loading, it will execute from here. It is getting true. It will enter into this loop. It is returning. It is not evaluating this code. So if you want to run this as both on change and on load, you need to remove this is loading. Are you getting? No.
Yes, please.
Everyone understood this or no?
Understood.
Yes, Vijay. Understood.
Okay. This will be definitely an interview question. Apart from they'll ask you what is client script, then you can tell what are the types of client script, that is on load, on change, and other types. There are two other types also. You can tell that. But apart from that, they'll ask you how do you convert an on change into both on change and on load. You need to tell if you remove the is loading from the if condition, it will run as both on change and on load. And apart from this, they'll also ask you how to cancel the form submission. That we'll see tomorrow, how to cancel the form submission in the client script. Okay. Anyone having any doubts? That's it for today.
Now we
try to visualize the code whenever you're evaluating. See, the moment I save the form is loading. So even you change the value also, it will execute from here. But unfortunately, it is not entering into this if condition. That's it. Because here the form is not loading or the new value is not empty. Because new value is nothing but the status value, it's not empty. That's why it is coming here. If it enters into this loop, return. Get away from this code, don't execute this. Okay, that's it for today. If you have any questions, we can discuss, or else we can continue tomorrow.